questions about the defensive front that they would be answered at LSU. What about that sort of challenge from the head coach at the start of the work week?
I mean, personally, I like that. He said that, he kind of basically is putting the game in our hands. And, we just come out and, come and be physical. It's going to be a tough game. It's definitely going to be a full-quarter game. They got a great football team. But we're excited to attack the challenge as always.
When you saw this game on the schedule and you think about what they like to do, run downhill, Jeremy Hill, Fournette, Darius Guice, is this right up your alley?
This is my kind of football game, man. I love games like this. It's tough, it's physical. That's what you love to see in SEC football.
You say it's going to be a four-quarter game. I don't know if Georgia's had a four-quarter game this season.
We really haven't. I don't want to say, we've just been kind of, just pushing our way through. We've had some physical games, but we haven't been, battle testing. I think, we're actually excited to have a situation where that's going to happen. We've been waiting to see, what we're like, do 4 quarters of a football game, and we want to accept that challenge.
When you say you haven't been battle tested, does that create some uncertainty whether?
Not at all. Like I said, it's a challenge. We like to embrace challenges. We always talk about attacking the day, and that's one thing we're going to do. We're not going to back down from any fight, and we're just ready to play a good football team, and it's just one of the games that we've been looking forward to.
What kind of challenge is this quarterback in this offense for defending?
They work well. He makes them right all the time. They got a powerful running game. He can also make things happen. He can also run the ball. He'll keep it. Like I said, we faced good quarterbacks in the past. They've got a pretty complete offense, and we just have to assess every situation and just kind of know, all the things that they do before they do them in the game.
Jonathan, you've already talked a couple times about when you saw this game on the schedule. This is Georgia's first trip to LSU in 10 years, and they're not going back for maybe 12 or so. Do you wish you had more of these kind of games against the West where you play Alabama and A&M?
You always hear, the West is always, the stronger side of the SEC and everything like that. So it's always good to mix stuff up, just kind of play each other, like, different teams, just to mix up the schedule a little bit. We like to play different teams, and we like to play teams across different conferences, because, a lot of schools have good football teams, and, there's great players everywhere, and we just like to, mix up the competition, have a good time, and just, of course, play the game of football.
As a player, would you be in favor of the ninth conference game? Kirby came out and talked about that, so there could be more LSUs. It'd be one less home game against the bye team, maybe. But would you trade that home game against a bye opponent for another SEC road game in a different stadium?
If I had another year, I would. But unfortunately, I'll be going. But I'm definitely excited for the young guys that'll still be here after me, just to be able to continue to showcase their talents against other great teams. That'll be a great opportunity. I don't see why we couldn't do something like that.
How unique is LSU's offense from what you've seen? I guess they're trying to introduce more spread elements, but at the end of the day, they're still a downhill and you'll run right at your team.
That's kind of what you're seeing in the game anyway. Even in the SEC, we always, the SEC's always priding themselves on running the football, but they're starting to do more things. Just kind of spread out, spread out their offense, just to have more ability to create more plays and just create more space, and spread defenses out a little bit more, just to create more running holes. And it always gets back to running the ball, though, in the end. But you just want to have diversity, in your offense, just so you're not predictable.
In terms of LSU kind of starting to stretch where y'all are great team. I know the preparation is the same, but what are the difficulties in having to turn on except for you have the week?
Honestly, you just want to make sure everyone's healthy. You're getting in that stretch of the season where, guys are getting a little banged up, guys are hurt, guys are just bruised up, not necessarily injured, but just kind of, the bodies are taking some wear and tear, and, you just have to make sure, you're getting in treatment, you're getting in that cold tub, you're getting your legs back after a tough game. Sometimes you got to play more snaps than you usually do in different games. You don't know how the ball possession is going to be on offense or defense, so you just want to make sure you get everybody to the game. You're still practicing physical, and that you're not necessarily changing anything that you did in those games in the beginning of the season. You want to continue to, like you said, have those same type of preparation. You want to continue to prepare the same way, just so you can continue to play the same way.
You guys are ranked number 2, undefeated. Are you surprised there's this many questions about Georgia? And, people are wondering how you're going to do. You've played some pretty good football.
It's kind of crazy. Every year it's kind of like that. It doesn't matter, what the record is. Georgia's always, has the questions asked about them. I don't know why, but we're always glad to answer them. We don't necessarily like to talk much. We never really been, kind of a smack talking team. We just kind of go out and on Saturdays, we just do what we do. We let our plan speak for itself.
Kirby said that the players don't care where he's coached or played, but he had a 12-tackle game in Baton Rouge. When you've got a football coach that's been all SEC, does it make a difference for players?
It does. I think he has that experience, and he just kind of understands what these games mean, what they're like, and he just wants. He stresses, of course, what it means to him and, what it should mean to us and, where our minds should be at, Even in the beginning of the week, even yesterday, we had meetings after our workout, and we stayed here for a little while just talking, just about our team, what we want to be, where we want to go and just what it's going to take. And it's just kind of those things that, just help build a stronger team, build a brotherhood.
Do you think Jordan Davis is still going to be getting the scout team work, or is he going to be just with you guys?
I think it's safe to say after his last game, he's going to be definitely running with us a little bit more.
I think so?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm proud of him. He's doing extremely well, and he's worked hard, and he's come a long way. Most people don't really know, but he's definitely come a long way.
What do you mean? Was he weighed a lot like him?
Yeah, he weighed a lot. He's still working on losing weight, but I've never seen a guy that big move that fast. So even to be that heavy, he's playing well. He's learning his plays quickly, and he just was called on early. He's a young guy. Especially, you don't see young guys being able to assume positions like that and become one of the younger leaders on this team. And I'm just excited.
Is he the closest thing to Atkins?
I don't necessarily know. He's a young guy. So Atkins was a seasoned vet. He's seen a lot of football. The
skill set aside, though, it doesn't seem like there was a true nose from John. That he seems like the closest thing to that kind of idea.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because I believe Michael Barnett is definitely holding a fair share of the nose position, and he's holding it down really well. I'm proud of him too. He's making a lot of great plays. But I think they're totally, two completely different players. They're different in size and they move different. John is really agile and he's great on his feet. He used to play soccer. So he's pretty nimble. Jordan is just kind of like that big presence. He can't really be moved, and even if he is getting moved a little bit, it doesn't really look like it. So it's just kind of like he's there and he will always be there, just kind of in the way. And John was kind of a lock you out, shut out the block, just disrupt stuff. And Jordan is just, he's in space, he's where he needs to be, so our linebackers are falling over the top. And I guess they're kind of similar in that, our linebackers are getting more free, but I just think their body types are completely different.